So hi, welcome. It's nice to have you back. My name is Omar Skandarani and I am an amateur physicist. I made this video about my research of the ether, and I called it Ether Physics. I posted it online, never told anybody I did it, and I still got some views. But yeah, thanks a lot, and for those who listen or watch through from the beginning to the end, thanks a lot, it means a lot to me. Yeah, my physics videos somehow got response, I don't know. So thanks a lot, guys. And yeah, I'm working on a paper, and I printed it out. I haven't been working on it for a long time, but it's called The Fundamental Considerations of a Superfluid Ether. I wrote it in Dutch, so a lot of the people that actually see my videos, but I'm gonna try and explain a little bit and go through it, I guess. So I open up my paper with some main ideas. The definition of vortex is a mass of fluid in rotation, in circular rotation. This bores even me, man. I gotta do this a little bit different, a little bit more action. So what I'm actually saying here is that by the works of Maxwell, Helmholtz and Einstein, I got convinced in this model of atoms that will be vortex flows of ether. This is being hypothesized by William Thomson and by Maxwell even before this whole atom idea started in the 1900s. So the next thing is that it is known that special relativity theory of Albert Einstein is an add-on to the dynamical theory of the electromagnetic field of Maxwell. So in order for you to understand what I just said, I grabbed the book of Maxwell. So Maxwell wrote this in 1864. I showed you in my first video that he was talking about an ethereal substance, and it's about the mutual action by which bodies in certain states set each other into motion while still at sensible distance from another. So it's about electrical and magnetical experiments. So I showed in my last video that even though everybody knows the dynamical theory of electromagnetic field, it's the most famous work of Maxwell. If anybody at college learns about electricity, the teachers always teach you the dynamical theory of the electromagnetic field by Maxwell. Essentially, they made a summary of this book and they teach you at school. At a certain point, Maxwell started to write about the electromagnetic theory of light. He expressed the way light behaves in a mathematical genius master script. And the reason why I'm showing you here this is, like I mentioned before, Einstein was an add-on to this work. So right here we have Einstein's work, the original, and this is about the electrodynamical of bodies in movement. Even though it's not titled special relativity, it is special relativity. And so, in special relativity, once you get through it, eventually, Einstein says here about the electrodynamic way of special relativity. And right here, he uses the equation of Maxwell, that Maxwell used, and adds on to it. At point 15 in the dynamical theory of electromagnetic field of Maxwell, he writes, "It appears therefore that certain phenomena in electricity and magnetism leads to the same conclusion as those of optics, namely that there is an ethereal medium pervading all bodies, and modified only in degrees by their presence." In this theory that originates from, I guess it was Neumann, yeah, the theory that developed by Weber and Neumann, it makes it a lot easier to think about the world, but still this gives the world some magical things, the magnetic presence. An important thing is that we should know that even though we think matter with his own time is something on its own, it still is part of the whole. For instance, a water molecule, it has the hydrogen particle. So even though hydrogen looks as it is matter of its own, he already said that it's actually a part of the ether, and the magnetical powers, the forces that we see and that we can measure are actually ether in motion. That's really important to know. and to realize that the magnetical presence is actually ether in motion around particles. That means that the magnets make the vacuum move in a way. What I'm trying to do is translate this theory of Einstein into a mechanical theory, so that it seems logic that the idea of time would be included in a mechanical theory of the ether. The main thing I'm focused on is that the relativity, so that's the experienced time for instance, a watch, and a watch is full of molecules, and those molecules each have their own experience of time. And I believe that the experience of time is actually the rotation of the ether in the vortices of the atoms. So these are the papers I mentioned in my introduction. Okay, I have so many papers that when I try to reach for a paper to show you something, I can't find it. Nope. Nope. What's this? Maybe this one can help me out. So this will be your vortex ring, and the black area here would be the center of the rings. If you use smoke rings, this area here would be the rolling part of the smoke ring, and this will be the air around the smoke ring. So this will be mainly visible, this will be a little bit visible. Eventually you see around the ring, so the ring is the shape, so that's a ring, and this is a ring cut from the side. The ring will be from here to there, rolling in that direction. And this circle here would be a circle where the pressure is equal inside and outside of the vortex ring. So time for a molecule, time for instance for hydrogen, and this is not actually how hydrogen looks like, but it is the most easy way to teach you how you can imagine the differences of time in different watches. So if you're on Earth and somebody goes to space and comes back and his watch is not the same as your watch. So what happens is this part is a rolling part, and that's what divides time in an atom. So if the difference in atoms in time will be, for instance, 1 second, and we would say one circle around would be 1 second, it means that the one that went to space had a different speed of rotation inside the hydrogen, so or an electron or a photon. It's just an example. Oh, I am so sorry. In the middle of that explanation, the camera overheated and it quit on me. So, anywho, I'll continue with this. Okay, so this is the paper by Sir William Thomson. After noticing Helmholtz's admirable discovery of the law of vortex motion in a perfect liquid, this discovery inevitably suggests the idea that Helmholtz rings are the only true atoms. And same paper, I would also like to accomplish this idea. And I don't think I can do this alone, but it says a full theory of the swelling of vortex atoms by elevation of temperature is to be worked out from this principle. So that's the mission. If you're interested in the mathematical description of what I'm trying to explain in words, you can read my paper I'm showing you now. As you can see, it is in Dutch, because I'm a Dutch man. It's not easy mathematics, but it's not the hardest mathematics. I'm just an amateur. Anyway, you can find it on http tinyurl.com/shockdivision, because Shock Division is my band. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and drop a comment if you have any questions. And as always, may the ether be with you.